Hello, this is Pamela Lynch, and welcome to the Spiritual Librarian talk show. Today, I am so excited to have Ingrid Toledo-Hammett on the call with us today. Ingrid is one of our co-authors in the anthology Beyond the Shift, Volume 1.
Thank you for having me.
Now, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I am originally from Puerto Rico and have gifts from our Creator that I've developed and owned, especially recently, but grew up very heavily indoctrinated. So being a gifted healer in a very closed-minded environment was very difficult. It was very guilt-ridden, very closed-minded, very misogynistic. So it was difficult. It was difficult, but with lots of shadow work and healing, I've been able to set myself free.
Yeah. In your chapter, Breaking the Chains, A Journey of Healing and Liberation, really spoke to your journey and also being able for other people to be able to see themselves when they have been on the same type of journey. So what was it, as you were writing the chapter, what was the one thing that you may have learned about yourself that you hadn't fully realized before?
I realized that with all the work I'd done and all the healing I had thought I'd done, I had not. When I accepted to join the collaboration, I was very excited. It's been a dream of mine to be an author, first of all. Secondly, I've always wanted to speak the truth about the going-ons in this particular religion, but I was afraid. So I did a lot of healing, a lot of shadow work. But when I was presented with this opportunity, I thought that it would flow. I thought that it would be easy. But no, I was faced with the greatest challenge, which was to be authentic. And the fear was in my face. And there's nothing I could do. I had made the commitment. I did not want to go back. And I understood that this was the biggest challenge, was to tell your story, speak the truth, set yourself free. I was not free. I wasn't. And now I feel hopeful. I feel hopeful. I feel, yes, the human side of me is still a little bit apprehensive about how some people might take it, but that's normal. I understand that to be normal. But I'm mostly excited about those that will read the chapter and see themselves in my story and feel like they're not alone, that they have someone that has had the same or similar experiences, and they can also take steps towards liberation.
Yeah, and I think that's so important for you, one, to stay the path of being your authentic self and sharing your story. And the chapters in this book, they all have a very there's a through line through all of them about self-empowerment and being able to speak your truth. And I really feel that's where we're going as we sort of shift our consciousness. And this is one of the biggest things that I learned, because of course I'm learning as well as I'm navigating and taking people on this journey, because we were on this journey for 7 months, and watching and listening to people as they navigated their stories. But one of the things that I really learned was about the authenticity that everybody was showing up in, and that the thing that will really move us to shift consciousness is when people are their authentic selves.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. One of the things that I also want to bring across, the point to bring across, is that I was taught very early, and I think most of us are taught very early, to show devotion, to have faith in deities and gods and saints outside of us, right? And only until I began to heal and have faith in myself and have faith in me was I ever able to with the creator and have faith in something outside of myself. So that's one of the points that I really want to get across to the reader, that in order to heal, really heal and move forward, we must first believe in ourselves, love ourselves, treat ourselves with kindness, have faith in us and what we are, who we are, and then we'll be able to have faith in something greater and higher.
And I feel that, because I think you know this about my journey, is that I didn't grow up with any religion. So it wasn't one of the things that I had to navigate in this lifetime. Like, it has never been present for me. And but I've always believed in something greater than myself. Even as I always knew there was something bigger, that I was being guided and that I could trust. But it wasn't until I trusted myself. So I think it's not unique to different religions. I think it's unique to us in our experience as humans.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And so what are you looking forward to the most? I mean, we're right at the tail end of this. So I want to acknowledge you for the journey that you've taken your audience on, and, you know, the readings that you have done. And also, now that we're at the finishing line with the launch that you've set up on November the 24th. So if people are listening to this before November the 24th, that's our launch date. And if you're listening to it afterwards, you'll be able to go back and find some information, and hopefully the video from the launch party that we're having on the 24th. There'll be a couple, and hopefully we'll be recording them so that people can come back and really just, it's really about in publishing a book, right? We take people we have the idea and we take it through to celebration, right? Because there's a lot of work that goes into bringing people together. Well, even if you want to do your own book too, right?
I do.
I still have that. You place that seed. We just keep bouncing that seed back and forth. On the journey in book creation, there is this process that we go through, and we go deep, because it really is about finding the wisdom within ourselves that we want to share out into the world. And it is beautiful expression. And I can't wait for people to read your chapter, to get this book in their hands. And so, is there anything that you would like to share? Where can people find you? You want to talk about the launch party that you're planning?
Sure, thank you. The 13 of us are not very close. We live in different cities. And I've said to myself, how can we get together in one place to celebrate ourselves? And I decided to make a Facebook event, and I've gotten response in a way that I never expected. People are really excited. They're already inquiring where they can get the book. They're really excited about reading it. And what I've learned is that the fear was holding me back from something that people are wanting, that are needing, that are really looking forward to reading and getting their hands on. So there's a part in my chapter that it was a part of a channel message, and it said that my story is not about sparing feelings, it's about saving lives. And when I received that message, it just shook me. It shook me to the core, because great things happen only when people step up, right? And even though it's terrifying, it's exciting, and I'm proud of myself, and I want others to also feel empowered and do the same. So the launch party is just the beginning. We're going to toast to us. We're going to toast to healing. We're going to toast to authenticity and raising consciousness. And yeah, and from there just move forward.
And I am so proud of you too. I am
Thank you.
excited. I'm excited. This is just the beginning of this journey, and being able to share your message out into the world. And it is time for people to really understand different um what different people go through within the environment that they grow up in. And it's different for all of us, but it's the same,
Right.
right? Like, we have our unique experience as a human, but our soul journeys, we're choosing the experience that we want to have in this lifetime, and calling in the people. And people are showing up because, like, you're right, people are hungry for this type of information, and this, I think it's the permission that they can tell their stories, and they can see themselves in other people's stories, and people will see themselves in the stories, this collection of stories in this book. Beyond the Shift was something that wasn't going to go away. Like, it's been sitting for 2 years, and I knew the name of the book 2 years ago, and one day it was just, here it is. And I'm calling in 12 people, and 12 people showed up, and there was magic even in how all of that unfolded. Right.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
it's lovely how we've all come together to create this. And it comes from the nothingness into something that is going to feed people in their heart and their soul. So thank you so much.
And the nothingness and the oneness we created, we are all oneness. And I think a lot of people may struggle relating to the final place where we may be. They may look at us and say, oh, they seem so put together, they seem so calm, they seem so knowledgeable or educated. But I do believe that they will identify with the struggle, because it's like that picture of the iceberg where people only see the top, right? And they don't see the bottom. And I want to say that this Beyond the Shift anthology is going to let them see the struggles and how they can relate to the struggles in many different walks of life and cultures and places, that, like you said, even though we're different, we're the same.
Yeah.
And they too can absolutely overcome it, and it doesn't identify them. Their struggle does not identify them. They do not need to stay there.
Right.
So yeah, I'm hopeful and happy.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And thank you for being here with us today. And we'd love your feedback from the audience, and let us know what your biggest takeaway was. And Ingrid, how can people connect with you?
Yes. I have a website for my botanica, which is where I prepare spiritual tools. It's botanicaaguaviva.com. And do you want me to spell it? Because it's long.
We'll make sure that we put the link in all of the places.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm also on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I am on TikTok. If anybody would like to get in contact with me, I'd be so excited to speak with you.
Yeah, and you have so much to offer people, and I'm excited for people to connect with you and to receive this book with its wisdom. And your story is magnificent. So thank you again.
Thank you for having me, Pam.